I'm Stephen Foskett from Gestalt IT, and we're here at VMware Explore. One of the best things about VMware Explore is that we get to connect with other people in the industry. We get to learn from them, and we get to, make new friends from around the world. And so I'm joined here by Mikael Jensen from Denmark, who is somebody that we've known for a while. You actually participated in a Tech Field Day event at VMworld back a few years ago, and some other Field Day events, and it's great to catch up with you.
Thank you. It's great to be here again.
It's a long trip from Denmark to Las Vegas, but it's great to be able to have you come in. Tell us a little bit about your background and sort of what do you focus on? What are your interests in technology?
Oh, I started in IT about 25 years ago, and heard of something called virtualization in 2003. And in 2003, in my previous job, we actually went into production. And I haven't looked back since then. It's been an amazing journey, and it's been real fun to follow VMware from a company with just 3 products to, I don't even know the number today, but the company has changed a lot. And I can see now a tendency to move more and more into security. And with the present threats, that makes a lot of sense. So my focus right now is actually a lot on disaster recovery, and that fits quite well into what VMware does at the moment.
It's very interesting that there is this crossover between basically traditional storage roles like disaster recovery and replication, snapshots, backup, and the security space, because storage and security people have traditionally been different people, but increasingly it seems like the technologies are crossing over, and a lot of today's security solutions, not all of them of course, but a lot of today's security solutions use storage technologies. And so, you've been to Storage Field Day and Security Field Day. Do you think of yourself more as a storage person, as a security person, as a generalist?
I probably what's called jack of all trades. Mm-hmm. I cover a huge area. Probably because I'm been in a small IT department, so I should be able to do a little of everything, but also have had a necessity to become a specialist. Basically, I think right now most IT people in some degree are also security people. Right now, it's the attack services are getting bigger and bigger, and the attacker just have to be lucky once. We have to be lucky all the time. And basically, right now, I think a lot of security are based on luck. Using storage technology makes a lot of sense, and I expect AI will also play a huge part. Looking really forward to see what's happening in that area.
Yeah, that, you may know, is an area that I'm really interested in as well, the AI. We did our Utilizing AI podcast. We did AI Field Day. And I agree with you that from my perspective, things like security lend themselves well to AI, because especially machine learning algorithms, one of the best uses for machine learning is to detect anomalies and to also not detect not anomalies. In other words, I feel like machine learning has the ability to filter better than hard rules, which is what security has always relied on. And so I do think that there's going to be a huge AI-powered revolution in detection, intrusion detection. I also think that there's a possibility of generative AI helping in configuration of systems. Would you say that AI is relevant there as well?
That will be my guess. I think so, definitely. It's also interesting to see how backup has changed. When I started, backup was just used if someone deleted a file. Now it's actually last defense against ransomware. And the challenge will also be to be sure that your backup data is actually clean. And I also see AI as a part of using this technology just to search out for what's in your backup data, because we know ransomware lay dormant for a long time, and your backup is the first target.
So, given your areas of interest, what do you see here at VMware Explore this year, or generally coming from VMware, that addresses these concerns?
The disaster recovery initiatives and Carbon Black really like the site recovery, where you can spin up your backup VMs in a safe environment, a sandbox, load Carbon Black and just find out, is this a good state?
So most of the people in our industry, I think, would describe themselves kind of as nerds. They get excited about technology, they get excited about things. And it's not just about like computer technology. I think people nerd out about all sorts of things. You know, I nerd out about, I have a whole range of nerdy hobbies, and I see the same thing with you as well. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What are your nerdy hobbies?
Oh, I got a lot. Mainly IT stuff, tinkering with the home lab, gadgets, 3D printing. And when I get a bit tired of high tech, I try to go sort of back in time to the Viking age, spending some time being Viking.
Well, I mean, you are, yeah.
And that's, going in the right outfit, running around with a sword, and most important, drinking mead.
And exactly, and mead is a whole new thing. You were telling me about this. Tell me a little bit about the mead culture in Denmark.
It's been rising for a couple of years. So mead is just not mead. There is a whole lot of different kinds based on different type of honey, and of course on different plants to give it a different flavors. And you can spend a lot of time trying it all out.
I imagine you could. And I've seen the pictures of you in Viking outfits with swords. Tell us a little bit about that. What do you do there? Is it just dressing up, or is there more?
Dressing up is just a part of it. We are Vikings, so there's also fighting. And the fighting is not rehearsed. Mm-hmm. It actually combat, but with certain rules. Mm-hmm.
So you can't kill people?
No, we sometimes, unfortunately, using blunt weapons.
Oh.
But we have been talking about MMA, and that's sport for men in tights. We do the real battle.
Now, I would love to see, no, I would not love to see bloodshed there, but I would love to see what this looks like. So how did you get into technology? How did you get into IT as a younger person?
Just interest. Started looking at computers in high school. Looking what's happened since then, it feels like ages ago. I think my first computer was an Olivetti 286, terrible machine. You have to only use Olivetti parts because no other thing worked. But I became interested in how did it actually work and tried tinkering with it. And that was the small start. And a couple of years later, I was lucky to be able to work for a distributor, and it just been a long journey from then.
How about when did you get on the internet for the first time?
Oh, that would be in 94, 95. Mm-hmm. I actually started out with MSN. I was a beta tester on Windows 95. And yeah, there was some material on MSN, but not that much, and speed was terrible. So I think I switched to the internet really fast after that. Actually, started with home banking as the way in.
Yeah. That's funny. How about today? What kind of content do you create? How do you help the community? Where do you share information? What's your world?
Yeah, I'm a former VMOG leader, and that's helped kick a lot of it off, and also the VMOG. You shouldn't think when you're hearing me on this video, but I actually talk a lot. I prefer meeting people in person. So I have been writing some blog material, but not that much. I actually spend more time in the community, just connecting with people and try to help out. Something that has been really great with the VMware community is you could always get help, and I just try to pass it on.
I think that's the real spirit of the community, and that's what we're excited about. That's why I started Gestalt IT, was to try to get a community of people around me to support me and to help me, and it's worked out amazingly. Here we are in Las Vegas. We've got a dozen people coming to hear Tech Field Day presentations. We've got all sorts of gatherings. It really is amazing what the power of community can do for people and their careers. And I really appreciate having a chance to meet you again in person. It's been a long time since I've seen you. And thanks for hopping on here and helping us get to know you.